Hey guys, welcome back. Today we got a new video and yet another build, and this time we have a valuable Frozen Orb build. So for all my D2 Sorcerer lovers, this one is for you. And let's just jump right into gameplay as usual. So it's Frostbite again. I tried Ignite at first. I learned a lot with Ignite, Volcanic Orb actually, and I think it's very valuable too. But Frostbite just has better scaling thanks to its uniques, I would say, and also some passive stuff. So yeah, we have our main skill, the Frozen Orb, of course, and it applies a thing on the ground that explodes after a short amount of time. Which applies Frostbite too, of course. I'm too lazy to pick something, let's just kill this guy. So yeah, it freezes people, it has a crap ton of damage, and of course I can Abberoth with it, so this time you get to see my Abberoth fight. It's my first one, it took me a few tries, I don't remember how many, but basically I would get up to the last phase and then not understand what to do with a specific attack. So I looked up a guide and understood what to do, and then I almost fucked up the next try, but I got it first time after watching what to do with this attack. Before we jump right into it, I want to thank you all for the support. I got a lot more subscribers on last video, that's very nice to see, and it sucks that it works, but yes, I have to remind you that I just have like 1% of subscribers in my viewers, and I would really like to reach a goal of 500 to release a video, which will be an opinion piece about the game design of Epoch. I'm a hobby game developer, and I just want to make a different kind of video, more worked, more edited, etc. And I think you guys would enjoy that. So please, without further ado, let me know in the comments if my builds are working for you, if you have any question, or if you just want to say something nice, or if you want to be an asshole. I mean, I'm not controlling you. You do you. Anyway, about the build. As you can see, the gameplay is just we put down some volcanic orbs. They are quite slow because it allows for way more DPS with exploding ground, I think it's called, yes. Like, if you get 2 of these idols, wait, let me, just for demonstration, you get static orb, like my last build, but no, except this one is more like a disco ball than the static orb that is not static because it orbits you. Anyway, I use just one of them because for clearing, I think it's better. And for big bosses, you still get a lot of overlap. So I'm kind of lazy to switch around, and this gives me tankiness. Anyway, the other main skill is Ice Barrage. So you pick a direction, and then for 5 seconds or so, you will get a lot of ice shards, which apply Frostbite and give you ward. As I said, we use Frozen Orb. So we actually don't spec into this because we got a passive here that saves us 1 skill tree point, which is much more important than the passive point, of course. So we don't need those. We don't need to scale shrapnel damage because the main of the damage is from Frostbite's procs on the explosive ground and not the shrapnel. Though, when the orb explodes, it freezes like 8 of them, or maybe more, I don't know, 10 maybe. So if the enemy is in the center of the ball when it explodes, it does take a lot of Frostbite stacks. Anyway, I tried going full shrapnel, I didn't like it. I think explosive ground is much better. So, most important nodes, explosive ground and frequency, of course, the cooldown recovery speed, so we can cast a lot. You don't have to cast it on cooldown, during time in bosses you will often need to just dodge, so you won't have time to always cast it. But sometimes you have a phase where you can spam a lot, like when Abberoth is charging a thing and you have already dodged it, basically. And then, very important, the Shrapnel Pierce. It's nice for clearing. Without it, I think it feels a bit lackluster for clearing. And as much mana efficiency as possible, because this bumps the cost by a shit ton, so we need that. For Ice Barrage, we get the Ice Shield for the more cold damage here, and then we have increased fire rate against enemies and bosses as much duration as possible. The chance to gain ward, because why not? Always nice to have more ward. And maximum stacks. It's a buff with a maximum number of stacks, which gives more damage. So more frostbite damage. The most important after this, even before Ice Barrage, honestly, is Mana Strike. Just get all the mana node. That's basically it. You can go ranged if you want, because it's hard sometimes to get into melee range of the bosses. But, and the way to go is to cast an orb and Mana Strike during the cooldown. Which is why also we don't really need too much cooldown on this. The cost is so high, we do need to weave some Mana Strikes for bosses when possible. So yeah, just mana gain everywhere. Ice Barrage is done. Teleport, we go into stun immunity because I'm not using Strong Mind for stun avoidance. I'm not really a mana stacker build. I'm stacking a bit of mana, but not as much as a pure mana stacker. The full cooldown recovery and the buffs for freeze rate, because it will increase the frostbite damage. And armor. That's it. And fire shield, we go to convert this. It's not super important, but behind it we have armor and we have block chance. And during my Abberoth fight, I actually used the shield, and I think it's very worth it because it allows you to make a lot more mistakes. Especially in the first part where you're gonna take a lot of hits with the two harbingers at the same time. But after, before this, when you level up, I think you should go for full mana regen around here and duration, and yeah, just work your way down to the notes. Okay, so items. I'm using a few Unix, and actually I have two setups for you. This one is close to the one I used during the Abberoth fight. So what's in common is Frozen Ire as a scepter. Mine is completely crap. I really need to craft a new one. Frostbite Shackles and Snowdrift will scale your Frostbite a lot. So we got duration, a lot of chance to apply it on hit, and some ward retention, very nice since we're a ward build. We're kind of like hybrid ward, life and mana tanking build. And Snowdrift, the dodge rating when using Evade is pretty nice. We get like it can save your life during a boss fight if you get lucky. Craft movement speed if you can. It took me like 7 or 8 tries with 1 chance in 4, which is not very lucky. Anyway, but yes, the most important is the cold pen. Scaling from our freeze rate multiplier, so you see it goes up a lot, and you can actually see in the damage that it increases a lot. And if I remove them, it halves my damage. You don't need the Seed of Yggdrasil. I used it just for more tankiness, but before you get it, you can get something similar to your chest with Frostbite on hit, with cold skills, intelligence. You can also get the damage dealt to mana on your chest and on your helmet. So it's up to you on what you find or buy. After this, we got as much elemental damage over time as possible, basically, and intelligence on rings, belt, relic, amulet, everything, everywhere. Or you can also get, this one is pretty bad, I got attunement. Anyway, we can also get mana regeneration for mass spamming and less mana striking. It can be quite handy for bossing. Try to get shred armor on it. You will see in the passives we convert the shred armor to frostbite chance, which is huge. Here I got 100% for a suffix. You can get some on gloves, so you could craft this with shred armor, for example. And I think I said everything here. Oh, for relic there is a unique one for volcanic orb, but I don't think it's worth it. Unless you craft a very good legendary one with like elemental damage over time, maybe levels to volcanic orb, things like that, then you could use it. Keep in mind it increases the speed, so you might want to switch to 2 idols with it. So yeah, so it stays quite slow. You want it to be quite slow, as I explained, for overlapping. Sorry. Up. And I use a shield with just maximum block. When I activate my flame ward, you can see we get 50% chance, 40% reduction, plus this 10%, which I'm not sure how it works with this. Anyway, we also got some armor, of course. Not a lot, but it's honest work. Why do I have this? I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not capped in fire resist because let's talk about the new setup. And yeah, that's why I had this idol, I think. Anyway, I switched to no shield to see how it feels. This one, it should have cold damage instead of cast speed. This base is very good for mana spent as gained as a ward, intelligence, summer and regen. And the other change is I dropped this belt for Strain of Souls, which I got from Abberoth. This one isn't crazy good, the mana spent gained as ward is not very high, unfortunately, but it still gives a crap ton of ward when you use your mana. So it's very nice, it makes you way tankier, you lose some frostbite damage, but honestly it's worth it. And you can craft elemental damage over time on it or something. Now for passives. Really quickly, intelligence and resist, mana, cooldown for teleport and some attack and cast speed. This one very important, of course, for converting. In Sorcerer, we get a few in here, but we don't need the spell crit chance. We don't care about crit. We don't crit with this idol. Yeah, I didn't talk about idols. Sorry. So singularity and full inhibition because we cold and dot. This one just for the reduced speed and increased volcanic orb damage. And here we can get armor and mana, or you can just fill your resistances like I do, usually. So sorry, mana and ward per second, mana, frostbite and cold damage, copen and cold leech, very important. This one is also very important, depending on our current mana. When we cast something that costs more than 40, like a Volcanic Orb or Ice Barrage, we get 1 point per 15 mana of wards, so... No, sorry, 5 per 15. So, 150, it's 50, so 150 per cast, it should be. But well, it depends on your ward retention and decay. It's impossible to calculate right now because I already have one. Anyway, ward decay, as we were talking about. Here I would like to pump this to the max, but I can't. We use, I completely forgot to say this. We use Spark Charge because all the shrapnel, all the exploding ground, the orb itself will apply Spark Charge. And the Spark Charge is gonna apply our Frostbite, so it's a huge DPS boost. Huge! It's the most important passive in this whole tree. And then this one for mana recoup. Mana gained as ward and some increased mana. Recovery speed is very nice, mostly. Not for the orb, because we already got a shit ton from here. but for all the rest, for those 3. And, very important, in Rune Master we go up here for the armor shred to Frostbite chance. So get this as not as soon as possible. Go, I think, for Spark Charge and some of the stuff, most of the stuff here. Because this is very dependent on your gear, so it's more for like a final setup, but it is a huge DPS increase. And then here it doesn't really matter much. We get some int, some less damage taken, more int, and this can help you reach crit avoidance, or not avoidance, but reduce crit damage. With your gear, if you go that option, right now I'm more on a critical strike avoidance. Anyway, I think that is it for today. As I said, let me know in the comments if you didn't understand something, if you have more questions, just a nice comment, whatever. And please subscribe, as I said earlier, it's very nice to see. For next videos, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm cooking Void Bow Ward Marksman, something weird. So maybe that. I also have to prepare for Path of Exile release, and next week I'm on vacation, so it's gonna be kind of weird. So don't expect any videos next week, unfortunately. But I think the last Epoch hype is staying down since PoE is gonna release and most people are getting to Abberoth and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching and see you guys in the next one.
Terror turned her back on